Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this YouTube Live. I appreciate it on a Wednesday afternoon, a rare Wednesday when I'm not in Santa Clara because it's a Monday night game. The 49ers pushed their practice schedule back a day. In NFL terms, Thursday will be a Wednesday, Friday will be a Thursday, Saturday will be a Friday. You get the idea. That's just how they talk. And so today, Wednesday, it's a Tuesday, and the 49ers are going to be very interested spectators on Thursday night for Thursday night football. And it's as wild as it seems. Here the 49ers are with a 10-4 record and very much in the thick of the race for the number one overall seed in the NFC. And it's really quite simple for them. The Rams just have to lose once, and the 49ers, if they run the table, they will be the number one seed. And quite clearly, the best chance for the Rams to lose would be on Thursday night. I doubt very seriously that Davante Adams will play in this game due to his hamstring injury, which he sustained on Sunday against the Lions. And I don't know how much that affects the Rams. I mean, obviously it does, but I think the Rams have really kind of dug their heels into this 3 tight end situation, 13 personnel. And so expect to see a lot of that again, maybe more on Thursday night than they've done at any point even this season. I also think just that personnel grouping probably a big reason why the 49ers went out a couple of weeks ago and got Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks, the veteran linebacker. Boy, I tell you what, the 49ers speak very highly of him from going up against him during his time with the Vikings. Eric Kendricks had an interception in that playoff game back in 2019 against Jimmy Garoppolo. And they think that he's just a really good player. And it remains to be seen how he'll be able to practice this week. If he is in top physical form, is he going to have a uniform on Monday night? I kind of suspect he will. And I also suspect that his time on the practice squad will be short-lived. I think that there is a very good chance that they elevate him. I should say promote him at some point, certainly for the playoffs. They just have to elevate him here you can elevate a player from the practice squad 3 times before you have to make that move permanent and place him on the 53-man roster. So, yeah, the path for the 49ers is to watch and I guess root for the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football. And remember, Seahawks and the Rams didn't play too long ago, and Seattle, despite 4 interceptions from Sam Darnold, had a chance on the final play of the game to kick a 61-yarder to pull off that win. That was a game, Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions. Matthew Stafford did not throw a pick in that game, and the Seahawks still almost won that at SoFi Stadium. So that'll be something certainly to keep an eye on. And if the 49ers then beat the Colts on Monday, if they beat the Bears on week 17, and by the way, huge applause, huge news on Wednesday morning. Greg Papa, the voice of the 49ers, will be returning to the play-by-play booth, the radio play-by-play booth for that Sunday night game, 49ers and the Bears. Great news. Obviously, I talk to Papa weekly for our Ask Papa segment on NBC Sports Bay Area's 49ers Talk podcast. He told me he's been feeling very good, and he pointed toward that Bears game as the game that he could come back. He's done well, fighting cancer the way he has. He's super excited to get back in the booth. And of course, he would love nothing more than call the final 2 games of the regular season and then some home playoff games as well. And if the 49ers are able to get that number 1 seed, and if they are able to tighten up some things, especially on defense, and win 1 game, 2 games, then Super Bowl 60 would be 49ers playing on their home field, and Greg Papa in the booth. So great news there. And I know I've reached out to Greg, man, just over the last few days. There was not even, well, over the weekend, I remember several people got in touch with me, or I talked to people, hey, give Greg our best. And so I reached out to him and just told him how many fans, I mean, seriously, a dozen fans in the past week have reached out to me just to pass along, tell Greg we love him, we support him, and all that. So, Greg Papa, a great comeback story, will be in the booth for that Sunday night game. So I know all of you are thrilled about that. I'm thrilled about that as well. And we'll see, how the 49ers are able to finish this season. But I just started this last couple of weeks. Basically my knee-jerk reaction, NFL power rankings. What I try to do is just kind of my feeling, like, on where these teams are right now. What have they done? The strength of their victories, that kind of thing, is very, very subjective, no doubt about it. But I put together my 1 through 32 rankings, and I'll just show you my 1 through 20 here. But to note, dropped the Packers down quite a bit based on their loss, not only their loss to the Broncos, but maybe more significantly, their loss of Micah Parsons for the season. So it dropped them way down, just because I don't think that they're as good a team today as they were a week ago. Also, the Chiefs, they're barely in my top 20 now, based on their below 500 record and the fact that Patrick Mahomes will not be their quarterback for the final 3 games of the season. They've been eliminated from playoff contention. But, if you want to, here, let me just put these up right now so I can just tell you. Oh, wrong one. Let's do this. There we go. So there's 1 through 8. I do have the 49ers at number 8. I'm sure some of you would disagree with that. Probably, hey, move those 49ers higher. Probably the one thing, I haven't been that I haven't been that high on the Patriots. But when the game started on Sunday, I was like, wow, I'm going to have to give the Patriots a lot more love, because they're crushing the Bills 21-0. Well, the Patriots ended up losing that game. They can't even make my top 8 at this point. I think the Texans are really good. They're the team with the worst record in my top 8. But they've won 6 in a row. That defense is incredible. If CJ Stroud and the offense can just kind of carry its end of the bargain, then I think they're going to be really difficult to beat in the AFC. And let's see here. Who else? Well, put the Bills. I'm sure 49er fans are going, what? Jaguars, Chargers, Bills ahead of the 49ers? Yeah. I just think right now, I think the 49ers have it in them. I think, but the defense, you look at all those teams ahead of them. Those guys have dogs on defense. Those guys have defensive linemen. I'm skeptical how far the 49ers can go with their defensive line playing the way it is, the run defense, the pass rush. So anyway, that's why I have the 49ers at 8 and not any higher. Let's see here. Then from 9 on, Patriots with only 3 losses. But again, I kind of think, did I see somebody call them fool's gold in the comments? I think I did. Where is it? Yeah, there we go. The notorious. And then the Bears. Yeah, Bears, Eagles, Packers, Lions. Yeah, again, it's my knee-jerk reaction, but I stand by this. And then Chiefs at number 20. So those are my power rankings, top 20. And then, if you really want to know the rest, I can reel it off here, but let's see. My let's see here, 21. So from 21 to 32, Cowboys, Dolphins, Falcons, Saints have moved up with 2 straight wins with Tyler Shuck at quarterback, Bengals, Commanders, Cardinals, Jets, Giants, Titans, Browns, and then the Raiders coming up at 32 at the bottom. Hey, I did that YouTube post yesterday on just, Mac Jones and who might be interested in Mac Jones. And I did mention that the Dolphins coach, Mike McDaniel, had put it out there, had opened the door for a possible benching of Tua Tagovailoa. That is now official. Quinn Ewers takes over as the quarterback for the Dolphins, and that would appear to kind of set the path in motion for Tagovailoa to not be with the Dolphins next season. Huge cap hit for them, and even guaranteed money that he is scheduled to earn for next year. But hey, would Mac Jones be a possibility with the Dolphins? Perhaps, but man, it just seems that once you bench the quarterback, a guy that basically they paid Brock Purdy money to before Brock Purdy got paid. Once you make that move to bench him, I don't think there's any going back. So I would be really surprised if Tua Tagovailoa is with the Dolphins next season. And if the Dolphins, clearly the Dolphins will be looking for a new quarterback in the offseason. Question is, will they be looking for a new general manager? Will they be looking for a new head coach? All that remains to be seen. I'm probably not going to be on here too long on this Wednesday, but I just did want to put this out here at YouTube Live. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and now I'll get to some of the questions. I see one popped up. Oh, here we go. Bill Kennedy, 9554. Thank you so much for your nice gesture there. I really appreciate that, Bill. So his question is, if Rams win, can we get the number 2, 3, or 4 spot? No. And the reason is because the way the NFL works, let's see, can I put this up here? I think I can put this up here. Let's see, does that work? Let me see if I can put this on the screen. Yeah, there we go. Oh, no. Well, that's how the 40. Okay. So this is how the 49ers, okay. This is the 49ers playoff situation right now. They're number 6 in the NFL, in the NFC seeding. 7 teams qualify for the postseason. 49ers have 3 ways to clinch a playoff spot in week 16. That is if so win over the Colts, Lions lose to Steelers. If either of those happen, 49ers clinch a spot. So they could have a spot clinched in the playoffs on Sunday if the Lions lose to the Steelers. The other way would be, if 49ers tie and a Lions tie. I'll stick my neck out and say that's not going to happen. Okay, so now if the Rams and Seahawks do not tie, so the Rams win or the Seahawks win with a 49ers victory, they will move up to number 5 overall. So what happens is the division winners are automatically 1 through 4. So the winner of the NFC South, which will be either the Panthers or the Buccaneers, automatically will be one of the top 4 seeds, probably be the 4th seed, with probably the Eagles, the 3rd seed, and then the winner of the West and the winner of the North, likely the 1 and 2 seeds. So let's just say, for argument's sake, right now the Rams are the top team in the NFC, or in the NFC West. Seattle and the 49ers, the best that they could be would be 5. So 5, 6, or 7 are the wild cards. For the 49ers, the reason why they can't automatically vault to number 1 would be if Seattle beats the Rams, Seattle would still have a better record than the 49ers. But guess what? 49ers play the Seahawks week 18. So if the 49ers beat the Colts and tomorrow on Thursday, if the Rams lose to Seattle, 49ers then beat the Bears, I would set up a week 18 showdown, 49ers and Seahawks, for the number one spot, not only in the division, but also the NFC, period. So that's how the 49ers can theoretically, they could be 1, 2, 5, 6, or 7. I don't see them being the third seed. I don't see them being the fourth. They can't be the fourth seed. So that's why I think it is realistic that it's a realistic possibility the 49ers could be the number one overall seed if they run the table. I think the Rams are really good, but they're beatable. 49ers beat them early in the season. 49ers probably hung around a little bit closer than I even thought they might when they played them again at Levi's Stadium. I think the 49ers did not play well in that game. Now that Brock Purdy is back and playing at a high level, 49ers have a better chance. I think the Rams would still be the favorite no matter where they played, probably. And then, so yeah, I mean, the thing about the NFC and the AFC right now is I really think it's anybody's game. I think, like I said, I think the Rams are the best team. With the AFC, I would almost think that the three wildcard teams, whoever are going to be the three wildcard teams, would have just as good a chance of making it through the postseason and representing the AFC in the Super Bowl than the four division winners. I almost kind of feel that way in the NFC too, to a certain degree. But so that's where it is. That's how the 49ers can be the number one seed, win out, have the Rams lose once, because if the 49ers win out, one of those wins would be against Seattle. One of those wins would be against the Bears. And then all the Rams would have to do would be stumble once, and the 49ers would be they would win it as long as the Rams lose one of those games. Rams, in case you need a reminder, and heck, I might as well have the reminder as well. As I mentioned, they play Seattle on Thursday, and then at Atlanta, and then against the Arizona Cardinals. So 49ers are they're not in the driver's seat. They're not in a position where they control their own destiny, but still pretty good spot for them to be in with 3 games left in the season. Okay, I'm just going to go up here to the top and just see what kind of comments and questions or whatever it is that's on your mind. So going up to the top, can a player that's already been inducted into the Hall of Fame unretire and play again? Curious because of Philip Rivers. Yes. The Pro Football Hall of Fame and the NFL, or put it this way, the NFL does not run the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So, the NFL, the Pro Football Hall of Fame, they can't tell people when to retire or when to come out of retirement. But what happened is I'm one of 50 voters for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I turned in my ballot that whittles the group of 25 semifinalists to 15 finalists. That's the modern era guys. And so I turned that in a couple of weeks ago. And then once Philip Rivers came back and played, then the Pro Football Hall of Fame reissued the ballots and said, vote again, because Philip Rivers is no longer eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The rule is you have to be out of the game, not having played for 5 years before you're eligible. Well, Philip Rivers hadn't played since the 2020 season. Now he won't be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a first ballot potential inductee until the class of 2031. So, yes, a player can come back, but in this case, Philip Rivers, I don't know, he would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. To me, I would think Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald are very strong guys who have very strong cases to be first ballot Hall of Famers, as well as Frank Gore. So I don't know that Philip Rivers would have, but I'm almost positive he would have been in that final 15 as a finalist. All right, what else do we have here? Okay. When was the last time the 49ers were a number one seed? Well, wasn't that back in 2023? So it's only been 2 years. They were the number one seed. Remember, they sat out all their starters for that week 18 game against the Rams. Sam Darnold started. 49ers beat the Packers in the divisional round. They beat the Lions in the NFC Championship game at Levi Stadium. So therefore, they were the number one seed. Someone says 2019, that Greenlaw stop at the goal line versus Seattle. No. 2023. Am I missing something? Yeah, they were the number one seed in 2023 is Pop Psycho 5 says. Let's see here. Am I remembering in 2023 the Cardinals beat the number one team and opened the door? Yeah, that was in they beat the Eagles, wasn't it? I think they beat did they beat the Eagles? Yeah, I think they beat the Eagles. I remember where we were. We were in Washington, and guys behind, we were on live, 49ers post game live, and I remember the guys were watching the TV feed behind us, and yeah, the Cardinals scored late to beat the Eagles, and that clinched the number one seed for the 49ers that year. What are your thoughts on Greg Papa coming back? Awesome. Absolutely awesome. It's been a really, really rough few months. August, September, October, November, and into December. It's been super rough on him. He's gone through a lot of treatment. It's been an incredibly trying journey for him. This guy loves football more than anybody I've ever come across. You know, it's his passion. He knows the game inside and out. He just can't get enough, and it's been really sad to see him sidelined this year. And you know, he's referred to himself as, you know, in the bubble at his house, and you know, I have seen him in person a couple times. I've gone over a couple times to his house to drop off a sandwich. But you know, it's always through the window, and he does his show, and he's an incredible guy. And so I'm just absolutely thrilled that he'll be able to get back up there. I think my dog wants to eat. So, hey, whenever the dog wants to eat, we need to make sure that the dog is fed. Okay, let's see here. Number one seed, there's zero clear path because the Niners will lose versus the Bears and probably Seattle. Well, the path is, of course, if the 49ers win out and the Rams also lose on Thursday. So that is a very clear path. They need a little bit of help, but they have the opportunity to take care of their own business. Let's see here. Excited to hear about Greg Papa coming back for the game Sunday night. If Rams win out, we beat Seattle for the 5 spot. Top 4 of the division winners, so the best is wild card. Yep, that's true. Glad to hear Papa's doing well. Also, got serious action. Let's see here. Well, this says 5th seed will mean we probably miss the Rams until the NFC Championship game. Not necessarily, right? Because let's just say that the 49ers are the 5th seed, and then the 49ers play either Carolina. Okay, let's do it this way. I'm just going to write this out here so I can see it. So let's go. Let's just say the Rams are the 1. Let's go with, should we go the Bears? Let's go Bears at 2. Let's go Eagles at 3. And let's go Carolina or Tampa Bay at 4. Then if the 49ers are the 5th, then let's go 49ers 5th. Let's go Seattle 6, and Packers 7. Okay. So then what would happen would be 49ers play Tampa or Carolina. You have the Packers playing the Bears, and you have Seattle playing the Eagles. So if the seeds hold and the 2 seed, again, let's just say the Bears, if the 2 seed beats the 7 seed and the 3 seed, the Eagles, beat the 6 seed, Seattle, then the 49ers divisional round game would be against the Rams because they reseed after each round. The top remaining seed plays the worst remaining seed. And at 5, the 49ers would play the Rams while the 2 and the 3 play each other. So as much as it is attractive, and I guess the 49ers would probably, 49er fans, I should say, would root for either Seattle or the Packers or the 6 or 7 seed to beat the 2 or the 3 seed. And if that's the case, then it would work out probably really well for the 49ers, or at least that would give them their best opportunity to advance deeper into the postseason before facing the Rams. And again, Rams are good. Are they unbeatable? No, but they're very good. All right, what else do we have here? Papa, comeback broadcaster of the year. I love it. Absolutely. You are number 1 in the press room power ranks. Oh, thank you very much. Hold on. Are you number 1? Oh, me. Are you number 1 in the press room power rankings? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not worried about playing in Levi South. Okay, that's obviously SoFi Stadium. Every game is different. Rams also lost to the Panthers. Absolutely, they did. Win and we're in. Also a Detroit loss. Yep, I mentioned all that. Patriots are fool's gold. Chargers are winning, but every game they play is butt ugly. Yeah, I would agree that. I think the Broncos are number 1. Fair enough. Texans defense is a beast. Yep. Texans and Jags are playing well. Absolutely. I think the Bills will win it all. Yeah, they absolutely could. I think your rankings are right. Thank you. It's Josh Allen's year. I'd put them at 5, but I'm glad to see them in the top 10. Bills have some issues. Broncos had an easier schedule. Yep. Even if the red and gold make it all the way to the end, it's 49ers Bills. Give them at home. Gotta just kind of reading through this as I go here. McFly agrees with me. Defense is important, but you can win a championship with a top 15 defense if your offense picks up the slack or you play good. Yep. Dolphins definitely looking for a new quarterback. Fields bench, Tua bench, Kyler bench. This offense is going to be nuts for Mac Jones. When it costs him like $99 million in dead money to cut Tua. Yeah, it does, but I mean they've already benched him. So there's just, I don't know, man. I don't think there's stuff in the toothpaste back in the tube if you bench your quarterback. Let's see here. Dolphins can't dump Tua and pay Mac. I don't think they'd have to pay him much. I mean, they would, relatively speaking. Mac going to get us a fortune in draft capital. I'm not so sure about that. This dumb fan base were asked for that too. Wanted Mac over Brock. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the fan base wanted Mac Jones over Brock. I think people who wanted to stir it up may have said that, but I don't think honestly, I don't believe anybody who's a 49er fan really thought that Mac Jones deserved it. Or I think, yeah, I don't buy that for a second that any people who've watched Brock Purdy since 2022 actually thought that Mac Jones was the better option. Let's see here. Matt, how do you play football? That's what some of these questions sound like. Matt, how do you? Folks were asking if the Rams and Seahawks tied yesterday, That's still no good for us since we need the Rams. Yeah. Yeah. Remember now, the Rams are 11-3. Seattle's 11-3. So if those teams tied, it would be 11-3-1, which is still better than, let's say, 11-3-1, which is still better than 11-4. Yeah, it'd be half a game better than 11-4. So both record-wise, the Rams and the Seahawks would be ahead of the 49ers. And then for the 49ers, they would have to hope that the Rams lose one of those final two games while the 49ers would take care of business, or that would be the idea. 49ers take care of business against Seattle week 18. Let's see here. Matt, if we don't get the number seed, how do you rate our chances of making the Super Bowl, given that historically Shanahan has never made a Super Bowl unless we are the number one seed? Well, I mean, the odds would be against the 49ers. Do they have a chance? Absolutely. I mean, they had a chance back in whatever year that was, 21, against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. I think they had a chance the next year before Brock Purdy's elbow damn near fell off. So, I mean, they'd have a chance, but I think the odds are significantly increased if you get that week off and you don't have to travel for any playoff game the rest of the way. Let's see here. Beat the Seahawks. Let's see. Beat the Seahawks or we riot. Okay. The only team we don't control our own destiny for the number one seed is the Rams. Yes. It's not like Kyle, players lose games too. Winning tomorrow, we control. Yeah, if the Seahawks win tomorrow, 49ers control their own destiny. Let's see here. We lose common games, but if the Rams lose to Cardinals or Seahawks, they're 4-2, and we'd be 5-1. Yes. Kyle said the plan is to open Cowing practice window next week. That is accurate. That's what he said. Potentially 49ers get Bethune and Elliott and maybe even Okawanu back this week, as well as also Yetur Gross-Matos. Let's see here. Press room power rankings. Barrow's number 1, Branch number 2. I'm number 3. Number 1 formerly. We've been missing you postgame. Well, I'm on NBC Sports Bay Area's postgame live, so you should see me postgame. Next week, okay. We have a whole bunch of rookies. I'm just kind of going through it here. We've been going at this for 30 minutes. That seems about right. I don't want to wear out my welcome. Okay. Why does Kyle call run plays for Purdy? Why does he? I'm not sure he has. There's been some scrambles. I don't know that they've had any. Well, they've had the designed runs on like quarterback sneaks. There was the read option against the Cleveland Browns. So, can you tell us who you voted for in the Hall of Fame? Well, yes, I can. Now, at this point, you can vote for 15 or have to vote for 15. And so my 15, let's see, let me find my list here. I don't know if I should tell you all of them. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you all of them, but let's just say the ones who are carryovers who automatically qualify based on how the voting went last year: Willie Anderson, Torrey Holt, Luke Kuechly, and Adam Vinatieri. So 4 people automatically, and then the rest of us voted for 11. I'll give you some of the people I voted for and then leave a little bit of intrigue. Obviously, Frank Gore, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Jason Witten, Steve Wisniewski, Earl Thomas, Eli Manning, Marshall Yonda, Jari Evans, Those are some of the guys I voted for. I'm going to leave a couple unspoken, just for a little bit of mystery with that. Let's see here. It's Aloha, Mr. Maiocco. You are so right on your last football team has their own conference. That's why your list is spot on. Don't forget Roger Craig. Absolutely. Roger Craig. He is Roger Craig is a seniors finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The thing that makes it difficult there is that there are 5 people in the same category or kind of competing against each other. Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, then it's the 3 seniors as well, Roger Craig, Ken Anderson, Elsie Greenwood. We can only vote for 3 of those 5. And in order to make it into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you have to have 80% of the vote. So it becomes a numbers game, makes it very difficult. But clearly, I will be boosting and being a booster of Roger Craig's chances. Did you vote for Kyle as Coach of the Year? I don't have a vote for Coach of the Year. Although, no, well, the official, the AP, I don't have a vote. That is usually done after the season, by the way, too. I will vote for the Pro Football Writers, and I would imagine I'll vote for Kyle Shanahan. I mean, I think being close to it, you see just kind of how good of a job that coaching staff has done in keeping things together. Let's see here. Going through it. Oh, we got a power rankings for me, number 1. Thank you very much there, Chasen Bay 2472. Let's see. Just kind of going through it. Matt, what's Pooney's PFF since he's been getting better? Seems to be running behind him. I don't know what his PFF is off the top of my head, but yes, it appears like he's playing much, much better than he did earlier in the season when he's kind of banged up, had that PCL, posterior cruciate ligament. All right, I think. Oh, here we go. Valdez was elevated twice from the practice squad, but not activated. Does that mean they can't elevate him anymore? No, 3 times. You can elevate a player from the practice squad 3 times. And then if you're going to have him play in a game, you have to put him on the 53-man. So the reason they elevated Valdez twice was to put more money in his pocket. As a practice squad player, there's the minimum or the maximum that you can make as a practice squad player. And if you elevate a guy from the practice squad, you basically get a huge bump in pay. And so that was the 49ers way of rewarding him for doing well and keeping him around, I think, on the practice squad. So if they need him later, then they would, they could still elevate him once. And then for the third time or the after that, if they needed him, and he hasn't played in a game yet this season, so they haven't determined that they needed him. I thought when Jordan Elliott was injured before the game on Sunday, I thought that was the golden ticket for Valdez to play, but obviously not. It was more just a clerical thing to get more money for Sebastian Valdez. Let's see here. So that is that. I think. Okay, Matt, do you think they'll sign the player that was released by the Dolphins? You're talking about Matt Judon. He hasn't done anything this season. 33 years old, I think. We will see if they claim him off waivers. I don't know whose spot he would take. Maybe, I guess, Robert Beal. But Judon hasn't done anything. And I'm sure the 49ers know what's going on, why the Dolphins opted to release him, if there's any things that they should know about. Let me just, I don't think his salary would be that big of a deal. Although, let me just kind of check out right now what Judon's salary is for the final 3 games. Let's see here. What's he scheduled to make this year? Oh, not much. Yeah, so it wouldn't be a salary cap thing, but the question is he does he have anything to offer at this stage in his career? Burford, what's Burford's status? Burford is okay. Checked out fine with the knee, checked out fine with the ankle, should be ready to go this week. Let's see here. Love to see Judon and Kendrick starting. Yeah, again, check out Judon's stats. Like he hasn't done anything. Okay, I think we've kind of run its course here. If Bourne doesn't get another yard, well, the Niners, I think this is the question. Would the Niners pay him his $500K? Kind of doubt it. I don't think you want to start making exceptions for something like that, because then the next guy who comes within 5 yards, hey, where's my bonus? Guy who comes within 10 yards, hey, where's my bonus? Well, you gave it to that guy for coming 10 yards away. I'm 50 yards away. Where's my bonus? So I don't know. I think it seems to me like they would probably play it very strict and not make any exception like that. All right. Well, everybody, I want to say thank you very much for tuning into this 49ers Live. I hope I was able to answer your questions, and heck, just reach out and tell you that 3 games left in the season, 49ers 10-4, and absolutely there is a realistic chance that they can come out of this with the number 1 seed. It will certainly not be easy for them to run the table, but if they do, and if the Rams lose Thursday night, then the 49ers will be the number 1 seed. But again, not easy to run the table from this point forward. They play 2 really good teams. I wouldn't put the Colts, even though they have a good record, as a really good team right now. I think there's plenty for them to take advantage of with Philip Rivers at quarterback, 44-year-old who's played 1 game in 5 years. But those other 2 games, the Bears on a short week, although it is a Sunday night game, and then that last week, the last game of the regular season, don't know yet whether that game against Seattle will be a Saturday game or a Sunday game. The NFL usually determines that after the conclusion of the Week 17 games, because they do want the Saturday games to have some significance, but not a whole lot of significance. Certainly the game with the most significance, they'll put into that Sunday night time slot. So we'll see. My guess would be the 49ers Seahawks game would be a Sunday game, but don't hold me to that. All right. Thanks to everybody. Just do one quick, do a live show tomorrow so we can root on Seattle. Huh? Really? Maybe. We shall see. All right. Thanks again to everybody for tuning in to this YouTube Live. And that is it for now.